Hello everyone, this is Adrian here again. And I may not be talking like a lot of people that put on a different voice and face on YouTube. They say that brings more likes, that brings more subscribers. I wouldn't care less about that. I would like to give you a heart-to-heart talk every time. Why are you so depressed this time? And you know what it is? It's not about the virus. It's about the money. It's about the money. You're scared, you're nervous, you're fearful. If this is your first crisis, it feels like it's the end of the world. If this is your second crisis, you're still on a learning curve. If this is the third one and you didn't learn from the first two, you won't be able to survive this. You know what? Cry out to God. And this is a time when God really is waiting for you. A lot of you listening to me, He's waiting for you to cry out to Him, and He's going to show you the way. You say, well, I wasn't successful before this happened. What makes me so sure? What makes me sure that God's going to help me now? Oh, He will, because you didn't cry out to Him then. But when you cry out to Him now, you're going to know the reality of God. Now, depression is not the place to go. I used to stay depressed for months continually because I just didn't know. If you knew the answer to certain things, it wouldn't be a problem. If you had answers, it wouldn't be a problem. Actually, you were told the answers way ahead of time. You just refused to accept them. Now, what's important is that what I did in the last crisis was the Asian crisis. This was 1998. There are 4 things that hit me. My father died, the Asian crisis, the sugar price went down. Because whatever happens to the price of sugar around here, so goes the whole island. And then we had a president. When there's a change of president, usually in an election year, usually the biggest crisis happens there. And not only was it an election year, they ousted the president that was voted in at that time. And things were just so bad for business. I sat right here. My family was right around this table. I opened up the Bible to everything the Bible said, what God said about money. And I saw about tithing. Old Testament, New Testament, didn't matter. Whatever He said about money, I was just willing to believe Him. I had friends tell me, let's lease a farm. I didn't have any money to lease a farm. And another friend came to me and he said, let's go into multi-level marketing. We're making money now. They were good friends with good intentions, and they wanted me to make money with them, and then I have the utmost respect for them, but I just didn't feel God wanted me to go that way. And then came God, and I said, I'm gonna go to God. I'm gonna listen to what He has to say about this. And I took out my Bible and I just reviewed, everything He said about money, tithing, giving, and I didn't know, when you tithe, when you give, would it come back? Because I've given and didn't come back, and that's why I wasn't a tither for a good 15 years as a Christian and as a preacher. And I wondered about the results. I'm always results driven in everything I believe. Listen, if you're believing something and you don't care about the results, I don't think you're really wise about that. With me, if I'm going to believe something, I want to see results. All right? So when it came to money, I didn't see any results. That's why I wasn't so fast to believe. My father would tell me, because my father's a preacher, I'm a second generation preacher, and he said, I'm not so keen on this. Why? Because he hasn't seen results. With me, I wanted to know what God said, and I wanted to see results. And so first I reviewed what He said about tithing, what He said about giving, and what He said about faith. All right, Hebrews 11:1, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So it's not just that you obey Him, you've got to believe Him, believe what He says, and believe that He's going to do what He said. And I said, okay, I got nothing to lose. I lost everything already, and I lost all the money in the bank, paying people off, paying everything in the business. That business was, instead of it running my life, I was trying to keep it alive. Instead of it taking care of me, I was taking care of it, and that's not right. That's a recession going on. So what happened there was I started tithing. When the first day I did that, the manager of the bank came out, followed me out to the car and said, "Are you tithing?" I said, "Yes, I am." And from that point on, I just went up. I didn't go down. And I don't know what happened. I wasn't trying to show her any example or anything like that, but what happened was I just kept going up, never had a problem with money anymore after that day. It didn't come to me right away, but slowly it did. Slowly it did. Loss is the first step to discovering God. Let me repeat that. Loss is the first step to discovering God. And at this time, it's amazing, how many people just hate what God says, hate His principles, hate what God does to provide for His people. I don't know why they're doing that. But if you're a person that hates what God says about provision, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer in this time, because there's going to be recession. There's going to be, global recession as a result of this. This is going to be worse than the virus itself. And so you hear me now. You obey God and you go to church. All right, you go to church after this is over. This is not the time to get weak and to get depressed and not to go. No. You stop the depression, read what the Word says to get rid of it, and do what it says to get rid of it, and you'll get out of it. That's how I did it. It's not going to be different for you than anyone else, because God's not going to change for you. There are 3 things that God can't do. He can't lie. He can't change, and He can't fail. And so, you don't have a choice in the matter but to obey the Lord. Amen. Amen. Hey, get the word out. You do your own research, how God's plan is. You can reason out all kinds of things not to do it. If you can reason out one thing He says there not to do it, you can reason out everything there not do it and not get the results. Me, I'm results driven. No results, I don't want to have anything to do with something that's not giving me results. And you say, well, I adapted this belief system, but I'm getting worse. Okay. You'll never change what you believe until what you believe can no longer produce what you're looking for. All right? I'm your friend. I love you. God bless you. Amen.